Greetings, brave Pathfinders. Gather round the firelight, for today we unveil a new companion to our fellowship and inscribe fresh tales upon the quest log of our ever-blazing fire sorcerer. During my wanderings through parchment and ink, I realized I was in need of a companion, a character for my humbler, lower-level escapades. Thus, let us unfurl the quest log of a newly conjured adventurer. He wields the darkness as though it were velvet spun into flame. And though he has only braved 6 quests thus far, enough to raise to level 2, he already carries the air of a seasoned wanderer. And let's be honest, isn't he devastatingly handsome? There's a certain shadow daddy energy about him that is entirely impossible to resist. Perhaps it's the ember glow smolder of his gaze, perhaps the midnight weight of his voice, or simply the aura he exudes, mysterious, alluring, and just a little bit dangerous. This is Otochan, a shadow daddy wizard. Sometimes I wonder when creating these character spreads if I'm writing more of a dating profile than a quest ledger. But then again, isn't adventuring just a search for the perfect party member to steal your heart and maybe your loot? Otochan's tale begins in Shenmin, a land both silver-rich and sorrow-cursed. Once under the imperial Longhua, it fell into the talons of the witch queen Langloi, whose very name means beautiful maiden. Though her reign was anything but, the villagers were forced to mine silver from dawn until twilight. And when the sun set, horrors clawed their way from the night. Light spread like wildfire, and soon even Otochan's family was claimed by plague and rot. When he awoke one dawn, the silence of death was his only companion. Alone, cold and grieving, he left his homeland behind. He sailed across the seas of uncertainty until, at 21, he found himself in Caliphas. There, cloaked in shadow and ambition, he pledged himself to the Pathfinder Society, his vow to sharpen his wizardry until he can carve through the Witch's Queen's darkness, to avenge his kin, and to free Shenmin from her poisoned reign. What began as a jewel hunter's romp became a legend in its own right. Otochan and his companions sought 8 cyclopean fingers, each carved of precious stone, obsidian, sapphire, and gems what whispered forgotten secrets. To claim them, puzzles had to be solved, riddles unveiled, and perils endured. Only when the fingers were arranged in their sacred order did the Cyclops' cavern shudder awake and collapsed around us. Stalactites rained like spears, the cavern floor splitting beneath our boots. Otochan, the ever-so-dramatic hero, was knocked senseless by a falling stone, only to awaken later in a medic tent, bruised, black and blue, but very much alive, thanks to the valiant efforts of our comrades. As we continue to the second quest known as the Flooded King's Court. In a town that has been overtaken by sewage and circus madness, we found ourselves before the throne of a King Zuzgut, a goblin monarch as odorous as he was ostentatious. To earn passage into his realm's underbelly, we were commanded to perform for his amusement. Script, stage, and all, it was a spectacle that could only be described as a disaster. Yet, by goblin standards, a smashing success. Beneath the stench and sewage awaited horrors of their own, labyrinthine tunnels, rodents of monstrous size, and at last our prize, the largest scroll of ownership. Alongside it, a prisoner, a withered elf in chains, was freed and disguised to avoid any suspicious manner with Zuzgut. With scroll and soul rescued, we rose to the surface victorious, without causing any alarm with our newly found Pathfinder adventurer. We escaped unscathed and reported back to the Pathfinder Society, thus regaining the Pathfinder's Lodge back to its rightful owner. But now, dear reader, we turn to the parchment to another tale, Lil Beastie, whose flame-kissed spirit and hunger for starlight led her down strange paths still. In the battle for Star's fate, we unearthed not treasure, but a god, a turtle-like titan named Star, fallen from the heavens in comet form. Though grumpy, he revealed a heart as soft as his shell was unyielding. Yet his destiny teetered on the brink, threatened by a vile random toy maker and a hag dripping with malice. Through grit and laughter and a few singed eyebrows, we freed the God Star, earning his begrudging affection. And here is a masterpiece, as you can truly see, by one of our wonderful GMs. Side note, I really appreciate all the effort you do in drawing all of the characters and maps. Thank you, GMs. And then there was a frosty mug amid the icy spires of Linorm's King's Lands. There, intruders clashed with the Winter Witch's rule, and discord froze the land. But through unlikely alliances, perhaps even love, peace thawed. Lil Beastie's firework display lit the sky, a symbol of harmony, while fluffy white wolves curled at our feet, sealing the tale with warmth and wonder. And so ends today's chronicle. If you've journeyed thus far with me, thank you for staying until the last page of Otochan and Lil Beastie's adventures. We've just crossed the milestone of 600 kindred spirits in this cozy realm of quest journaling, a fellowship bound not by contracts or coin, but by ink, wonder, and a dash of mischief. Thank you for keeping the lanterns glowing in this cozy corner of journaling, where every page feels like a little spell of its own. If your heart longs for more adventures, you'll find enchanted links below. Until we meet again, may your pages be ever full, your tea ever warm, and your dice forever blessed by fortune's hand. And I will see you in the near future.